I realised that I have to work if I want to be in control of my life.
How did you get the traffic coming through? Did you do networking events? What did you do?
We got traction because no one else was helping people sell their businesses.
How happy are you right now?
I'm always frustrated by our limitations.
How was Singapore?
Everyone is super educated. It's so safe, it's so clean.
Would you say your challenge was recruitment?
It's not easy to find motivated, hardworking people with a good attitude.
What kind of businesses are your top three? Gladiators, welcome back. Today I have a special guest, a wonderful lady I met not too long ago over dinner with her husband. He's also an incredible businessman. Tutu Saul, pronounced correctly?
Correct, yeah.
Is a founder and managing director of the Business Exchange Bureau based in Dubai. And we connected straight away. Rarely I meet with someone that I connect straight away with. We've had you in our office a few times now. I'm proud to call her my friend. So welcome to the arena.
Thank you so much for having me. Really
Thank you,
excited
Tutu.
to be here.
Me, you.
Yeah.
I actually, normally before I meet someone, they do a little bit of research on you. So we stalked you. Okay. So before talking about your current business, tell me a little about your background. You're a wife of a businessman. Before that, you were actually in business, or you done finance before? Is that correct?
Yeah, I worked at Bloomberg for 12 years in financial services. So most of my career was in financial services.
My niece is right now working for Bloomberg.
Oh, really?
She started as soon as she left university. Now they offer her a full-time job. What's it like at Bloomberg?
It's actually amazing. It's like an amazing foundation. And I think if I could choose where my kids could do a few years, I would definitely choose Bloomberg for them to do. Not just because me and my husband are both Bloomberg employees.
Oh, really? Is that where you met him?
Yeah.
No, wow.
We did
in London, England?
In London, yeah.
That's where she's based.
We did 25 years between us.
Wow.
And the reason is you learn business, you learn sales, you learn how to speak to clients. You really learn the foundations of how to be successful in business. And on top of that, you can really build in any industry you want.
How long has Bloomberg been going?
I think, it's been...
I know he's old now.
I did say to you, don't ask me anything.
Over 50 years? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's 50 years. I think it's maybe 30, 40 years.
So what's his magic? Why is he like one of the richest human beings on earth? What's special about him? Did you ever meet Michael?
I didn't. He's been in the office when I've been there, but I haven't met him per se. I think he's just incredibly smart. He's super smart, and he's formulaic about the way he does sales. And so the sales force are all following a very successful formula, which works really well. And I think at the heart of it...
Is he selling advertising mainly, yes? For his...
No, we were selling the terminal itself. So it's all the financial information in one software.
To banks, to...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
To banks, portfolio managers, buy side, sell side. So it's actually the sale of the software itself that was the main income of the company.
So the salespeople were phoning financial traders. Is that what it is, or? Because I have no idea.
Sure.
I'm really interested because I was following CNN. I'm like, the way they grew was incredible.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you know more about.
So basically, everyone manages different accounts.
Let's go back. He started a company, right? He started a company.
Yeah.
What was the company? Did he come out with some kind of a software or something?
I think it was initially like a hardware that he created with the software on it.
So he's an inventor, really?
Along with the technical guy that was with him at that time.
They were partners.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, I think it was two of them that created the software and the hardware.
Right.
And then they started selling it as a fixed income solution for banks because there wasn't anything for bonds. You know, where there were solutions for equities, there wasn't really anything on the fixed income side. So they came up with something for fixed income. So I think, firstly, they captured a market, that there was a gap already there. And then they just kept adding and adding and adding and adding and just making sure that their customers were really entrenched, had the software entrenched into their workflow. And I think
never get out. Right?
Exactly. And I think this is what companies really don't understand, is that it's so important to entrench your customers in your product. And if you don't take the time and trouble to do that,
they'll move on. There's no
they'll
loyalty.
Move on.
Yes.
There'll be something cheaper. There'll be something easier. There'll be something that comes along. So you're kind of depending on someone's habit for you to keep them as a customer.
So you could say it's almost a monopoly, really, right? Because in a way, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, they're part of Meta. There are other social media platforms out there, but then he's kind of made it part of our lives, and it's suddenly become, a monopoly. And now they're thinking of dividing it. So are there other options to Bloomberg out there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are other competitors.
But he's so entrenched within the organizations of his clients.
I mean, there's a lot of competitors. But they keep evolving the sales strategy. They keep fresh on the sales strategy.
It's incredible how you talk about it. It's a sales company, right?
It's a sales company, and everything is about sales, and everything is about the customer. And the customer is just everything. And I think that's what I really understood when I was working there, that if you focus so hard on the customer and you understand what they want, and you develop what they want, and you listen to them, and you interact with them, then you're going to be successful. The success
and they do
will
that.
just
They're
follow.
Constantly communicating, listening to the client.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's interesting because it reminds you a little bit like Oracle or Salesforce, because they're very sales. If you said to me, name me a very strong sales cultured company, I'll be Oracle, right? Or because you hear about the Oracle Salesforce and Salesforce the company. I would never have thought Bloomberg, but it's a sales company.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's the best.
So what's the culture like in that business, which the two of you took out and are implementing in your own businesses?
I think it was the energy about the place. There was always a lot of energy.
Wow.
And there's always like touches of magic everywhere, things that you don't expect to be happening that day. So there was a really lovely atmosphere in the office. It was a little bit magical. The kitchen always had amazing, things for everyone. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it's amazing for a large organization to keep that going. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes companies lose their soul when they grow too big.
Yeah.
But Bloomberg is a multi-billion-dollar business, and to keep that going, that culture is incredible.
Yeah, I think the culture is, and they say people are a bit brainwashed when they're at Bloomberg, and you're just in the culture. You're in the culture of it, and I think if you understand it and you understand the benefit of being in that culture, you don't see it as brainwashing. You see it as energy and putting the right message out there to clients.
We have a culture in our company where it's very much heart-driven. A lot of people have come in and they think it's like a cult, right? That everybody loves each other. Everybody is kind to each other. And I go, because they bringing their past experiences into our office, and it just doesn't fit. So very quickly we realized that. We say, thank you, but this doesn't fit with you. I think I love to work in a culture whereby I'm not watching my back all the time. Everybody supports each other. I know that I can rely on this loyalty, honesty, communication, speed. This is our culture, these are values.
Yeah.
And I've protected. And along the way, we've been called a cult, brainwashing.
Yeah.
But it's okay, it's not for you, move on.
Yeah.
But over the years, there are times that I doubt myself. I think, is it me? Am I creating a cult here? Am I this? But I'm thinking, but actually, people are happy.
I think it's so simple that people always overlook. It's about authenticity. If you're if you're authentically the way you are every day, and your energy is authentic, and you're just being yourself, then you can't really go wrong.
No.
But it's when people put layers of trying to be something and complicating who they are, I think that's where things become.
And they lose the authenticity, and confusion comes in.
Yeah.
I agree. I think when you're a leader, be it leader of a company of 2 people or 2,000 people, you have to be so strong to keep that focus, because the noise and people will try to distract you. Leading to you leave, what made you leave Bloomberg?
So I had my second child, and the thing is, quite early on into Bloomberg, my aspiration was always to be an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur, and even from a very early age, I was actually selling stuff. So when I was
in Bloomberg, did you start in sales?
I started in sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You must be really good, because for so many years, you say 10, 11 years you were there? How long?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
You were in sales for 12 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, sorry. Not 12 years. I did about 7 years in sales. And then 5 years in a department called data acquisition, where we were building data sets. And we were building platforms. So I basically was able to bridge the knowledge of what customers want into building products for them.
Wow.
So actually, I realized that that's really my forte, that I really love building, and especially where there's gaps in the market.
Now it makes sense. Right? It makes sense. We're going to come to that for the audience.
Yeah.
So you had your second child?
Yeah. Sorry. So just to go back, I think from a really early age, I had that tendency to want to make money somehow. At that age, I just wanted to buy chocolates and sweets. And I remember my dad used to buy cash and carry, wholesale boxes of different things. And he bought a box of chewing gum, which for me was pretty useless because I didn't really enjoy chewing gum. And he stored it on a really high shelf in the kitchen. So I would go to that high shelf, get a few pieces down and sell them to my naive younger sister.
Oh, wow. And sell it to your family members.
Yeah. And that's where I started. I think this started this thing of, I need to do something for myself if I want something. At that time, I wanted penny sweets. But from 14, I realized that I have to work if I want to be in control of my life. And if I want to be in control of what I want to do, because money is always used as a control tool. So from 14, I always had 1 or 2 jobs.
Wow. So working for you is just a natural thing.
Yeah.
So what made you leave? You're doing well at Bloomberg.
Yeah.
You had your second child.
Yeah. I left only because I had this urge of entrepreneurship. And that was always burning inside me. And after my second child, we were living in Singapore. And
so you moved with the company. You weren't always in London.
Yeah. We moved out to Singapore, and I was heading up data acquisition for Southeast Asia.
Did your husband move with you? Are you okay with that? Water? Did your husband move with you?
Yeah, actually, the move was for him.
And then the company accommodates you.
And then the company,
nice.
Basically, I had to shift my position so that we didn't have a direct reporting line. So that's why I moved from sales into data acquisition.
I see. How was Singapore? Did you enjoy it?
It was amazing. I mean, it's really, really one of those perfect places to live. Everyone is super educated. It's so safe. It's so clean.
I just don't like the humidity.
The humidity is horrible.
It's a killer. The moment I leave the room, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I can't stand a sticky bit.
Yeah, it's very
Dubai
sticky.
gets hot, but it's not as. I don't think the humidity is not as bad as Singapore.
The problem is it's all year round. It's not like one season.
Just summer, yes.
It's literally the whole year round, and it's broken by the rain. So you're kind of in thunderstorms or humidity. It's never like super comfortable.
True.
But if it wasn't for that, everything else about it is just incredible.
It's beautiful, isn't it? And green and natural.
Yeah.
It's amazing for a small city how much money they have.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Because I think what happens is if you're a haven amongst other countries, you attract money from the other countries. So there was always a lot of Chinese and Indonesian money coming into Singapore.
Yes.
And I feel the same way about Dubai.
Yes.
There's a bit of instability, in the region, And so Dubai attracts because it has that stability,
Yes.
and mostly it has that ease of business as well, and it has that international, flavor to it. So I think these hubs always attract, money
Agree.
from outside.
I think maybe even Dubai copied some of Singapore's formula
For sure.
because they were first.
For
And
sure.
why not?
Yeah.
Copy and do it better.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the leadership here, which I envy so much, this leadership. We're so blessed to be here.
Yeah.
This time of our lifetime, this time of the world, and the opportunities are crazy in the UAE.
Yeah.
We're blessed with great leaders. So Singapore,
Sorry.
were you
so
still an employee?
Yeah, I was still an employee. I had my second child. Always had this burning thing that I have to set something up for myself. Always had that. But I was able to do new things at Bloomberg. So they kept me interested year after year because I was doing new things for the company. And so that's why I stayed as long as I did. Otherwise, probably I would have stayed, maybe a shorter time there. Left after my second child and set up a company in Singapore. Was about to launch it. It was something completely different from what I'm doing now. But I found a gap in the market, and it was to do with property management, because expats, didn't have a good way of maintaining rental properties and things like that. So I created something to solve that particular problem. Didn't get to launch it because by then we were moving to Dubai already.
Because of your husband's now?
Because,
At Bloomberg?
No, sorry. He was offered another role at another company.
Okay.
And we moved for that reason.
So how long ago was this?
That was 10 years ago.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
And so you've been here 10 years?
We've been here 10 years.
So the current business bureau, how long has this been established? Is that something you started straight away, or did you have another company prior?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I had a year of feeling a bit lost because I was like, okay, that business no longer applies to this market, or there's already solutions there for people. What am I going to do? And I've always loved businesses, whatever type of business it is. I could sit for hours and just talk about different types of business, different industries, how people make money, how they've lost money. So for me, the idea of a business marketplace is what I was really thinking about. And I was thinking, okay, I'll do a business marketplace on the side, and then I'll set up this. And I thought, that I could set up multiple things. I didn't realize that a marketplace basically consumes everything about you. And, there's no way you can
multiple things.
You can do much more on top of that. So the first reason was I was looking for an investment, and I wanted to take over running business because I believe in the concept that, those 6 months to 1 year of setting up a business is all time and money lost. Yes. So why would you go through that process and authorizations and certifications and all the rest of it? Why would you pay the money, wait 6 months to a year when you can buy something that's already ready?
Somebody's had their pain. They've gone through
it all.
They've done it
for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know, it sounds crazy, but after 43 years in business, we started that a year ago. Buying existing veterinary clinics.
Yeah. It just
took me so long?
For me, it just doesn't even make sense to start from scratch. Because even if you change the brand, you change the name, you change the way everything looks, it's fine. But you have revenue from day one.
Correct.
You do not have revenue from day one when you start over. You're not going to go
through the same teething issues as the founder did, or the owners did. Amazing. So you met those businesses that you were interested in investing in? So
I didn't know where to go to do that. I didn't know what's available. I didn't know what the value of those businesses was. I didn't know how to get in touch with anyone. I felt lost for a good number of months. I just felt lost.
Yes.
And then I thought, okay, let me build that platform. So that we can put people who are looking for businesses with people who are looking to exit from their businesses. And then I just literally on a piece of paper wrote out a plan.
It's normally a handkerchief.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, back of a handkerchief. That's what I do my business plans.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was a bit longer than a handkerchief. Wrote it out just on a piece of paper and asked some advice. was told it seems like a good idea, and then started building the technology behind it.
That's amazing. So you go back to development of the software, and then the challenge is to get traffic noticing you, right? So how do you get the people coming to you? We're going to talk about how many people come through your doors and the challenges, but when you're a startup, nobody knows about you.
Yeah.
So how did you get the traffic coming through? Did you do networking events? What did you do? Ads?
So I think that was the advantage of finding a gap in the market. So when there's a gap in the market, you actually don't need to do as much as trying to claim market share from other companies. So we actually didn't do very much, and we got traction because no one else was helping people sell their businesses. So yeah, it was.
So people
quick.
Google searched and found you.
Yeah, we do. Of course,
or did you get some PR and stuff like that?
We haven't really done that yet.
Incredible.
We've it's just all picked up from referral and from people searching. Of course, we do digital marketing. But really, there's a massive gap in the market because small businesses are crying out for help.
And right now, do you just Dubai or the whole of UAE, MENA region?
We do all of UAE. Yeah.
Okay, so your bureau is like a dating site,
Yes.
right? People are looking for investors, or they want to sell their business, and people have investments, they're looking for business to purchase.
Yes.
We have a chain of 6 veterinary clinics, and the idea is to have 10 to 15 and sell it.
Yeah.
From your experience, when you have multiple, like a chain, is it easier to sell than having, it is easier to sell than having one unit?
Yes, absolutely. Because you attract a different kind of buyer. So you'll attract a corporate buyer, an institutional buyer. And then, of course, there's a big price difference of having, one or having multiple branches that are across, the UAE. So it's very different from having one to having multiple branches.
And EBITDA-wise, for instance, when we buying businesses at 3 to 4 times EBITDA, what multiples do you think I can, if I came to you and I'm genuinely, honestly, maybe after this podcast I introduced to my son and we'll talk about selling our businesses because I'm not a business operator. I'm an investor, turnaround expert, and then I sell.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in talking to us about selling our veterinary clinics?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So what kind of EBITDA would I be looking at? What kind of multiples would I be looking at? We have 6 at the moment, and they're all profitable.
Yeah. Well, basically.
By the way, some of the businesses we bought, they were not profitable. We turned them around.
Yeah. Well, we provide valuations for people, but you have to look at a number of different things. Obviously, you have to look at how many branches, what is the profit margin of them, what kind of assets are there in the business, how much repeat business is there going on in the business.
We have all those, yes.
Yeah, so all of that forms the opinion of what multiple you can apply. But of course, going from 1 to 6 branches, you're going to have a higher multiple than what you acquired at.
Indeed. So looking at, when nightclubs open, they have plenty of men, so they get attractive girls to bring the men in. So there's always a shortfall of girls, right?
Yeah.
When you're buying and selling, where's the shortfall? Is it not enough businesses out there? Or not enough investors? Or is it an equal balance?
There is always, you can always have more attractive businesses. Okay. You can always, the more you have, the more investors you have.
Really, so there's no problem. The money's out there.
No problem with the investors and buyers if you have something attractive.
Incredible.
And it is very much, for us, it's like a matching website platform.
Yes.
And even, some of the dating platforms, you'll get a list of companies that suit your requirements, and then you can swipe left
and right,
that's not released yet. Yeah, that's not released yet, but that's something that we're working on at the moment.
Wow. Quicker decision making. That's incredible.
The other thing that we're doing that I think is going to be important is we're creating a score of how feasible it is to sell your business. So yes, we can do the valuation, we can tell you what your business is worth, but we can also tell you from the outset how feasible your business will sell. And that's a score that we're going to be implementing as well.
Amazing. That's amazing.
And the steps of how to improve the probability of sale is the really important.
So you
part
don't
of it.
just match; you actually assist through the sales process. Now you have two customers. You got the investors and you have the sellers. Which one's a bigger pain?
The without a shadow of a doubt, the businesses.
Crazy, isn't it?
Because
you think they'd be dying to sell it, right?
Yeah, they're definitely the pain point, because they're sometimes, not all, some clients are amazing. They're unrealistic about the price sometimes. Okay. They're overly emotional about
they
their
take
business.
It personally.
They take everything very personally. So the sellers are definitely harder to deal with. The investors are quite detached about it, and everything's, formulas, calculations, and, this is what we think the business is worth. But you have to buffer that message between, the buyer and the seller, because it can sound very harsh. If you're offering 30% of the asking price to someone,
yes, they might get offended by the whole thing.
It can be very offensive, yeah.
So through the process, you hold each other's hands. You make sure this happens.
Well, yeah, because actually it's
your income.
smoother.
Right.
But not that just that it's the income, but it actually makes the process smoother if you're there as a layer between a side that's...
What percentage do you take?
Sorry, 5%.
Which is not much for all the work that you do. You find them, you manage them. Yes. How about if I had an idea and I want to raise money? I don't have a business.
Yeah.
Can I come to you? It maybe is an opportunity to have seed money.
Yes.
Is there such a thing on your platform?
Yes.
There
so
is.
Whatever the business is, you can list on our platform.
Wow.
And inevitably you'll attract, something, as long as there's something about, what you're asking for and what you're presenting.
So that's amazing, because I guess, asked to be a shark on many Shark Tanks, or a dragon in the Dragon's Den, and as a judge, I'd reject loads of potential investors, but I could send them your way, right?
Yes, they just need to list on the platform.
That's amazing.
And then they'll start to have interest coming in. They can ask for advice. We can help them, in terms of, what are they missing? What do they need? Why is it not interesting for people?
Yes. So you're beautiful. And so your business is very scalable.
Yes.
Because all the infrastructure is there. You just need to make sure the quality of people are having quality conversations happening.
So there's two levels in the marketplace. One level is people interacting directly with each other, and then one level is people coming to us saying, "Can you assist us?"
Yes.
And that's the case where we help all the way through the sale.
Do you charge more for that service?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then do you charge anyone for listing? Do you charge the investors for access to the list, and do you charge businesses for listing their businesses?
So we don't...
Not success rate, just listing.
Yeah, we have two types of subscription. You can list for free, but when you receive an inquiry, you need to pay for a subscription to get the contact details of the person who's interested in your business. Do you mind if I
ask how much?
No. So it starts from 180.
180
dirhams.
Yeah,
it's peanuts. It's
per
nothing.
month, per lead.
Actually, for 3 months. So for 3 months, you have unlimited access to inquiries.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking if you charge more, people will respect you more. No, seriously.
Yeah.
In life, I found out the more they pay, the more they appreciate you.
Yeah.
When it's too cheap, it's nothing.
Yeah. But for us, what's really important is the interaction between buyers and sellers. We don't want people not to be contacting each other. So we don't want a situation where people aren't paying and someone's inquiring on their business.
Yes,
we want that activity on the platform. And that's why also we don't charge buyers. We only charge the sellers, because we don't want any obstacles to someone selling their business. So the buyer has a free, access into the market. But however, we have a subscription for investors as well, where you get full access to information on the businesses.
Dare I ask how much that is?
It's the same.
I'm coming to your business, aren't I, in 2 weeks? We need to talk. Okay, fantastic.
You're going to quadruple. Guys, get
at
in
least
now,
get in
because
now.
the price is about to be quadrupled.
At least quadruple.
Yeah.
At least. So I'm going to sign up with you today. And what would the process be? I want to list I have several businesses and I want to list them with you. What would the process be?
Yeah, so you create a login, and then you add your company details.
Okay.
And then from each company, let's say you have the veterinary, maybe you have a cafe, you list the different companies, you attach your documents, and then you create a listing for the company.
And then?
And then you'll get inquiries. Okay. First of all, we'll do the approval on it.
We'll do the straight away enrollment into the 180 dirhams. So that's fine. We'll do that. So the names will come, inquiries will come with their names and contact details of the potential investors.
Yes.
And then what we want to say is that you handle them. Can you do that?
Yeah, well, then in the first place, we'll take over everything. We'll create a data room. We'll do the content writing. We'll do the marketing behind it. And then we'll just handle everything A to Z.
And that's part of the subscription fee?
No. That's called the investor matching service.
Okay, how much is that?
That's 13,500.
That's more like it. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. So you do all the legwork and promoting and stuff. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And then the inquiries will come in, and then you filter them, I guess. And then,
absolutely.
Because I don't have the time to speak hundreds of tire kickers, right?
Yeah.
And then we will have solid quality conversations with investors that you filtered.
Yes, and also we'll send you their profile. So we'll say to you, this is the person who's interested. This is his background. Would you like to go ahead or not? And so it's in your court. If you want to proceed with that specific person, you can do your own checks on them.
Do you find that most of them are individuals, your investors, or are they like venture capital professional investors? Have you looked at your investor database? You're all data, actually, I noticed. So what's it like out there?
We have a complete mixture of high net worth individuals to institutions to family offices. I mean, it's literally anything you can imagine. We deal with.
I guess this is like your little black book, isn't it? Because you will probably have dozens or maybe a dozen of high net worth individuals' contact details.
Yes.
That they could become your acquaintances and you could phone them up and say, I have a special deal for you.
Yes. So our new version of technology is basically as soon as you enter, a business comes into our system, it scans through all of our tens of thousands of investors and it will shortlist the ones.
You have tens of thousands of investors?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Because we've accumulated over 9 years.
That's incredible.
So it's not about, we haven't done much in terms of reaching out and buying databases or anything like that.
Yeah, organically.
These are all people who've come to the site, who've registered, who've made an inquiry on a business, who want to subscribe to our newsletter, whatever it is. But they're all organic people. So they're all genuine.
That's incredible. Really, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your background is sales and data, and you married the two together. As a sales company, how happy are you right now? Truthfully, share it with the audience. Because do you have a lump in your throat? Like a lot of clients of mine have a lump in their throat because they're so busy spinning plates over there. They feel this sales, something's missing, especially when the background is sales.
100%. I'm never happy. Never happy. There's so much I can see that we can do, and there's only so much time in the day. So I'm always frustrated by our limitations.
So would you say your challenge was recruitment? The right people? Would you say getting the right people to take the sales and kick ass out there?
I think recruitment is definitely difficult. Like you said before, it's not easy to find motivated, hardworking people with a good attitude.
Thank you for remembering the last conversation. Thank you. Yeah.
So I think recruitment's always a challenge. You've got to have the right people, especially when you're a small company. You can't afford to have people who are cancerous within that company.
Terrorizing your business behind your back.
Yeah, absolutely. The other challenge is always money. I mean, it's we haven't raised money to date, and I think that's really probably the thing that I wouldn't advise anyone else to do. I would say bring in the investment and just bring in all the resources you need. But we've grown it slowly over the 9 years. We've added features year by year. But I would say probably recruitment and having more access to money would definitely help.
Okay, talking about money, how much?
We don't need that much, to be fair.
And what would you do with it?
Okay. We would bring
There
in...
are people listening who are in the same situation as you are. And
Okay.
we are, without filters, helping. And honestly, don't fear judgment, because I want people to know very successful people have problems. They have challenges. The problems aren't just theirs,
Yeah.
From the outside, you have an amazing company, and you do have an amazing
Yeah.
company, but you face challenges every day.
Every
Nothing's
day.
ever perfect. Yeah, so by sharing it,
Yeah.
we sharing the love, and people are thinking, well, I'm not the only one. They're sitting in their homes listening to this, thinking they're the only ones, but they're not. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
So I share my challenges and ups and downs without the fear of judgment, and that's how I've gained so many followers, because that people feel my authenticity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we basically, we just want to invest more into the technology. Like we already have our roadmap.
Yes.
And we just need more programmers. We need, more automation of things. We want to keep building, different things digitally to assist that process,
Yes.
to make it less
I
challenging.
kind of see your vision.
Yeah.
At the same time, you've got to bring the business in to fund your vision of expansion.
Yes.
Money helps a lot to get that vision quicker.
Yeah.
At the same time, you need sales to explode.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you need to really hold the business owner's hands, because they're distracted. They're spinning plates. They send an inquiry. They say, yeah, I'm interested in selling my business. And then it's not on top of the priority list tomorrow. Would that be the case? They don't respond on time. They don't fill the forms properly.
Yeah.
And you have an investor interested in their business. Is this what normally happens?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes, it doesn't happen like every day, but sometimes you find a perfect match.
Yes, and you get excited about it.
You know it's a perfect match.
Yes.
And you can't convince the seller that it's not easy to find the perfect match.
Yes.
It just, it is like love. It doesn't just happen every day.
Yes.
It might happen, once in 6 months or once in a year for them.
Yes.
So if you find the right match, the person who has the appetite for that business, who has the budget for that business, you have to hold on to it with both hands, because once that person goes, you're looking at another 6 months, 1 year to find the next person.
And they've been lucky to be ending up with that. It's very much like recruitment.
Yeah.
I used to have a recruitment company. So we got two clients, people looking for ideal candidates and candidates looking for... So you got to manage the two so carefully, even to the point that you got to make sure the candidate turns up on time for the interview.
Yeah.
And it's their life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't you just take this a little bit more seriously? But at the end of the day, if you're holding the hands of this person to get a job, they're not the right people for that position.
Yeah.
They don't deserve it sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you give something too quickly to someone, and like their first experience is, someone will call up and say, I've got such and such a business, and I'm like, wow, I've actually got like the perfect person for that.
Yes.
And because it's too soon for them, they think, there must be a lot of other people out there. But it's not. It's that we deal with thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And we know how to filter with those people for what they want.
Yeah.
But it's not simple.
What I do is, in sales, I always prepare them for it. I always say, before we start, I want to know how serious you are.
Yeah.
And I might get you somebody next week or tomorrow, not because there are 10 to a dozen waiting to invest in your company, because we have this relationship. So are you going to give me the commitment of attention, this, and I get them to commit.
Yeah.
Right before we start.
Yeah.
And then they give me the permission to shout and scream at them if they don't deliver on what they promised. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we get commitment of the fee. They pay the fee. They sign our agreement.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to communicate. They're going to respond on time. They're going to be, not complicating things.
Yeah, I think, and then sometimes you get their partner who comes in and complicates
they're not the only
things.
decision maker. Yeah, exactly.
Or their friend suddenly comes out of nowhere.
The cousins.
Long lost cousin. So there's so many variations, and then people might get sick, or someone might have passed away in their family and they have to
where'd
travel
you go
back.
with that? Yeah.
And it's literally every kind of situation you can imagine that can happen that can throw a deal completely out.
What are the top 3 businesses that are being sold out there? I go into Dubizzle and I see hairdressers and beauty salons left, right, and centre. I don't know why, but there seems to be a lot out there. But what kind of businesses are your top 3?
Well, the thing is, restaurants and salons are, in the top 2 because there's so many of them. Not because of anything else, but the sheer volume of them. So that's why there's always a lot of them there.
Yesterday, I was approached by a couple of amazing Emirati gentlemen in their 30s, and they've been running their business for 15 years. They're based in Abu Dhabi, different brands, and they're very local Emirati chefs, and they're very smart business owners. They've never really made profit because everything they earn, they put back into growing their brand and their branches. And malls are jumping all over themselves, offering them 2-year free rent and stuff, but they need money. Can I introduce them to you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, literally, if someone listens to us and we tell them, the way to approach it, then there's no reason why anything, can't be done.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no reason.
And would there be a commission for me? Is it a dealer agreement or an introductory agreement? No, seriously, because
sure.
I can give you hundreds of business owners
Yeah.
and investors.
Yeah, of course. We have introducers that funnel people in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's discuss this after this conversation.
Okay.
Done. So when we talk about money, what's the first thing that comes across your mind? Say, like, there's lots of people with money out there. Do you think they got too much money? I'll tell you, let me give you an example. I was 23 and Blockbuster Videos dominated the video market. And this company came called West Coast Videos to compete with Blockbusters. And they were, I think, second in the US, and they opened up in Manchester, the first branch. And I was the branch manager. And they said to me, Dariush, we're going to get loads of potential franchisees coming in. Your job is to sell the concept to these and people. And I was like, well, it's a video shop with red paint on the walls. It was just red. Same concept of Blockbuster, just red walls. Everything was red, horrible.
Yeah.
Everything was red. And people were coming to me, and I was thinking, this could be the McDonald's of the future for videos. And I'm not joking, a couple will come to me and say, yeah, my father died and left me $3 million. And this is like 30 years back, 35 years back, right? And I couldn't believe how much money there was, because I'm from a poor background, right? I couldn't believe how many people were just writing checks then for £250,000 to get these red walls in their local town with videos in it.
Yeah.
So what's your experience when it comes to money? Is there a lot of money out there?
My experience is there's no dumb money. I have not come across dumb money.
Okay.
Anyone who pays, anything is scrutinized what they're paying for. I think maybe I missed the years of.
But there was no internet then. It was a lot of trust in what you said to me. I have to believe it.
Yes.
Now I can Google everything and make up my own mind.
Yeah, or you ask ChatGPT, is this a good business to buy? But I have not come across an investor that's invested in a dumb way. Not at all. But I was hearing a lot about them, but I've just never come across them.
Yes, amazing. And what's the normal decision-making process to come buy a business? Weeks, months, years?
A month, for sure. For sure. So you have to set up a data room. You have all your documents in there. The buyer will go in there and scrutinize the documents. If they're happy with the financials and what they see, they give you an offer letter, which is provisional to the due diligence of the company. And then once the offer letter's agreed by both sides and signed, then they start the due diligence, which can be like 1 month, 2 months process.
And then is there exclusivity? They don't talk to anybody else during that month?
Yeah, the exclusivity. If a deposit is given,
a deposit has
then
to be
there's exclusivity. Okay. If there's no deposit, then it's really hard to tell someone, wait 2 months and we'll let you know by the end of 2 months that we may or may not buy your business.
They need to know the investor's serious. I guess the horrible part is the moment you get lawyers involved. Because lawyers, here's the thing I tell people is that your lawyers will get richer by dragging things because they charge for time.
Yeah.
So the more time they spend, the richer they get. So understand that. And I think the days of lawyers is going to be over soon because like ChatGPT can create anything.
Yes.
Right? So I think the days of anybody sitting on their backsides and waiting the customers to come to them is over.
Yes.
Because now they have to be a little bit more competitive to go out there and get the customers. So that I think the arrogant days are over. But I tell my clients, they're your servants. You're their clients.
Yes.
You tell them how they should behave.
Yes.
But too many people, I think, rely on accountants and lawyers like they're the bosses because
Yes.
they are educated.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
What it's very easy to do is to rip something apart.
Yes.
I mean,
And find problems in it.
anyone can rip something apart. And that's the problem because they feel they're paid to rip something apart.
Yes.
That's what is done. But in actual fact, you've got to balance, what is the person paying for the business? If they're paying something very reasonable or very low, then it's not a case of let's find everything wrong with the business. It's let's find out if I'm paying the right amount for that business.
Correct.
And then have the funds to invest to
overcome those challenges, yeah.
all the issues. And the whole point is not to buy a business that's perfect. It's to buy an imperfect business that you perfect and you add that value.
Beautiful.
And then you increase the price of the business.
I love that.
But unfortunately, I feel lawyers are not always commercially driven. It's not about the deal and about the success of the deal.
Yes.
It's about winning points on the clauses.
It's the ego. Yeah. It's the ego.
Could be, yeah.
We have to be very careful what we say. But yeah, I find the same. And I think it serves them to drag things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't serve their clients necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting lots of hate mail from this. So where do you see yourself in 5 years, Tutu?
Well, that's the difficulty because I love what I do.
Yes.
So, of course, the idea is to expand and grow and exit to some degree. I don't know if I'll ever be able to divorce myself completely from the company because I just enjoy it too much, and every day is so different. And we deal with such crazy and different and interesting
it's never boring.
and smart people. And what I really love is dealing with small business owners because they're not like corporate clients. They're grounded people, they're hardworking, they're really good people that you just genuinely want to help. So, yeah, I maybe what I would do is just start investing in different businesses.
Okay, because you do see, I guess, opportunities.
All the
and you
time.
think that's a good business. I could do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll register as an investor on your platform as well.
Yeah.
Because I guess there may be even veterinary clinics looking at selling.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Of course.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk, definitely. So 5 years, still in the business.
Well,
at the moment, where
maybe
are you?
or maybe not.
Okay, where are you, like regionally? What's your reach out there?
So we are looking at expansion. We've already been approached by a number of different countries that want to set up their branches.
So you're UAE now, right? Just UAE?
We're UAE, but our technology is now ready to be implemented in any country in the world. So it's only a matter of time before you'll see us popping up in different places. Yeah.
Amazing.
So global expansion for sure.
Let's do this again.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn. Just if I was going to start a business, because can you believe we've been 50 minutes already? It's gone quick. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I was going to start a business, what are the top 3 things I should look out for?
If you're going to start a business or you're going to buy?
I'm going to come to that. That was my next question.
Okay.
If I was going to start a business, what are the 3 pitfalls I should watch out for?
Prepare
myself.
Okay, number 1 out of everything is money. Do you have the funds to take the business where it needs to go? Because you may just run out at some point, and then all the effort and work is just for nothing. So if I was going to start a business from scratch, my number 1 thing is, do I have enough money to create this? And if I don't, I wouldn't even start it.
Sure. And you need the cash flow to maintain it. So
yeah.
And often people start businesses thinking everybody's going to buy from them, and then very quickly realize it takes a lot longer than they thought, and they run out of money. What's second and third?
I think you've got to look at what your competitive edge is going to be. Like what what
What's
is
your
going
unique
to
selling proposition?
yeah what is going to differentiate you from the next person that's doing that. I think that's really important to really understand that. And really to have that plan of how much am I going to charge, and is it feasible to charge that amount for what I'm doing,
The service I provide.
yeah.
Great. And the third?
Third, if I'm setting up a business,
Maybe
I'd say a specialization. Is there something I know or have access to someone who knows a lot about that sector? Because that's the thing, that can really make or break.
the knowledge of that industry.
Yes.
You're
So
dying to tell me about the top three for investors that.
Okay, so if you're investing into a business, I would say it actually depends on what you're looking to do. So some people are looking at recurring revenue.
Okay.
So that might be the most important thing. Some people are looking for an asset-rich company where you're not taking too much of a risk, because there's a lot of assets worth a lot of money that you're paying for, and you can sell off the assets at any time. And profitability, of course.
Do other investors out there looking at the potential of the business? Is it a lot easier to sell a profitable business, multiples of the profit, or somebody who understands that this business has got potential? Like, for instance, if I had an AI platform, and now AI is the in thing, which one is it easier to find investors for?
The profitable. I mean, without...
It's black and white.
Is very, very black and white. If you have a profitable business, you can easily have interest on it.
Okay.
Because you have to prove that your idea has worked. And if you've proved it's worked, then, of course, you're going to have people who are interested in buying it.
Amazing. In our veterinary clinics, we have, obviously, highly qualified doctors working for us, which is, again, our assets, right? A lot of our X-ray machines and stuff like that are very expensive, but half of them are leased.
Yes.
Okay, but we're still a profitable business.
Yes.
So when somebody's looking at investing in our business, do they say, "Oh, the assets aren't really theirs because they're leased"?
Well, you'll own a proportion of the assets, because
Yes.
you'll have been paying the installments over
Indeed.
time.
So it's
you'll look
valued at how much the business owns of those assets. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. How much?
I guess it's like when you're a doctor or a policeman, you apply for a loan. It's very easy to get a loan because you're highly qualified individuals, right? I guess a company where it has lots of doctors working for them is more valued than most businesses, would you say? Or not really?
Not really. I think it's really down to the profitability of the business, because the bank doesn't really care how qualified you are. They don't care.
On personal loans, they do, don't they? On personal loans, they go, okay, then you're a doctor, you're going to be guaranteed some kind of an income, so I'm more comfortable giving you a personal loan.
But I think they still look at your income. They'll still look at statements to see how much you've earned over the last 6 months, 1 year. So it's always about your track record. It's never really about how technically gifted you are.
Sure.
I think, track record is the major thing.
And then are there credit ratings in Middle East? Are there credit ratings? Because it's so easy to get credit rating reports in the Europe.
Yes.
What's it like here?
Yes, there is an agency that does credit rating reports for companies, and it's one of the requirements of when you're selling your business that you should have your credit report ready for the buyers to look at.
And who's that? If I wanted it, where do I go?
It's Etihad Credit Bureau.
Etihad Credit Bureau.
Yeah, Credit Bureau.
Thank
And
you
they'll
for
look at all the outstanding debt of a business.
Yes.
And they'll have a credit score for you as a person, and also for you as a company.
Amazing. One of the challenges I've had to raise money, even mortgage, because I'm an investor and I have a golden visa. It's a lot easier for my employees to raise money than it is for me as an investor, and I own the company.
Yeah.
Is that still a challenge when you're looking at...
For sure, because it's about track record. It's not about... It's about what comes into your account every month. That's really...
But as an investor, there's no salary.
Yes.
Although I'm paying all these salaries,
But
it's a lot easier for them to get credit cards than it is for me.
Absolutely.
Strange, right?
Yeah, it's just you need that track record of showing income coming in every month. And if you don't have that, then it doesn't
Because
really
as an
matter.
investor, my income's irregular.
Yes.
Sometimes it's huge amounts of money, sometimes not so huge amount.
Yeah.
But it's not consistent like an employee.
Yeah.
Although I employ all these people.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ideally, you set yourself some kind of a salary,
I should,
a regular
I should,
salary every
I
month.
should. I think I still run my business like it's the corner shop.
Yeah.
Pay myself whenever I want, whatever I want. And
Yeah.
you can't run a business like that
No.
and sell it that
And
way.
then at the end of the year, let's say you have a fixed salary. At the end of the year, you see how much profit you have, or every 6 months, every quarter, whatever it is, and then you allocate it. Okay, this I'll keep for myself as a
Yes.
dividend.
Yes.
This I'll invest into social media or marketing or whatever. And that way you have a structured approach of how to deal with the profit.
And thank you. And also, do they have to be audited or no?
You ideally want to have someone else to verify your numbers, because if you're giving someone an Excel spreadsheet, that person is going to know it's an Excel spreadsheet, and you can have input anything you want into that.
Because
So
part of due diligence isn't to come and check out the numbers and the revenues of the branches. That's part of.
It is, but it gives a bit more credibility to what they're looking at. So you don't have to have an audit, but it helps with the credibility of the company that that you have these things in place.
Yeah, if you got a good rating at credit bureau, you got your audited reports, and everything's got systemized and good quality software. It all helps the smoothness of selling your business.
Yeah, for sure.
On average, how old the businesses are up for sale, and what's the reason people are selling mainly here?
There's a lot of people who are exiting the country, so we pick up on the people who are leaving. Sometimes people are retiring, and then another one is when they have a lot of businesses and they want to divest of specific businesses within their portfolio.
Yeah, that's interesting. The first two, I'm surprised because you hear that everybody's coming, but people are still leaving.
I mean, it's just natural, yeah.
Amazing. And also retirement, because it's such a young country.
Yeah.
I would have thought, not many people will be retiring because they're all youthful and they're all excited about this booming industry, but there's still people retiring.
Yeah. And then another reason is that the business needs funds. So,
They've
either
reached a plateau and they want to raise more money.
either they have to raise money or sell the business.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you. What a
Pleasure.
beautiful business you have, and I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
1 hour. I really enjoyed it.
I know, I didn't even feel it was an hour.
I really enjoy. I could have gone on for another 2 hours. Thank you, Tutu. Thank you so much for coming to the arena. If people want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
Well, our website is bxb.ae. And all of our contact details are on there. We're based in JLT in Dubai. Just come to the website.
And we'll put an email address under the text as well, so it'd be a pleasure.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
I'm going to connect with you straight away. I'm going to introduce you to my son, Ali, and see how we can do business together as well.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Because thank you. We've been doing this for 1.5 years. We accumulated 6 veterinary clinics.
That's actually very quick.
Very quick.
Yeah.
But I see pain in his eyes, and I'm thinking, we're not operators. We're investors, turn around, sell.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for him also to have a new challenge.
And
I don't want him 5 years down the line running 15 veterinary clinics,
Because your upside might not be that much more. You could wait another 5 years, but you may have reached a good peak in terms of the value of the businesses, in terms of the return on your time.
Yes, agree. The thing is, he's 31. Maybe he's got time. I don't.
Yeah.
Right? I want to get as much possible for the shortest possible time before we go on new challenges.
Yeah, I would get in and out at good points of the cycle. Sometimes people wait until, they're in distress before they sell. They don't realize that actually wait till your peak performance, and that's the best time to sell.
You're
not
right.
when you're desperate.
And also when you're desperate, your energy changes.
Totally.
And the investors recognize that you're desperate. They might take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there are professional investors out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute pleasure having you
Thank
here.
you so much.
Thank you. Tutu.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the arena.
Really
Guys,
appreciate.
thank you. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And I want you to know that you're not the only one. There's plenty of money out there. And some of the pain and challenges you're going through, you're not the only one. It's very common in the industries, any industry that you're in. But you know what? All you gladiators, entrepreneurs, I honor you, I salute you, and see you again.